stop the presses, pause the keyboards, quit the hot takes for a moment. This is not even arguable. This is Luka's coming out moment. Now, it's not like he hasn't been great before this. Not like he hasn't had great playoff performances before this. But for the first time in a critical playoff game, Luka's execution melted the other team. Prior to this, Luka could be great, but the opposing team said, we can match it. We're deeper. We're better. Luka's a one-man show. This was the moment where Luka's mere presence melted the opponent in a big spot. The Suns saw Doncic doing anything that he wanted, spacing the floor, hitting his guys with passes, and them hitting shots, and the Suns couldn't respond. And it beat them down. I mean, really, after the first quarter, the game was over. That Luka had snatched their souls in the first quarter. He had silenced the crowd, and there were slumped shoulders, faraway gazes, all of the Suns looking around like, what happened? Where are we? What planet are we on? He had snatched their souls. I mean, it was so obvious that because Luka's execution was so good early and the Suns' execution was so poor that they lost all fight. They lost all battle. They lost all compete. It was just out the door. It floated out the door into the desert. It was wild. And Luka might not be the best player in the NBA, but it ain't long. Not long. Luka Doncic has this amazing array of skills. He is athletic. He is agile. He's got great footwork. He shoots well. He's a great passer. He's a big body. He's a rebounder. And he's just thicker than you think he is. You know, he can step with that right leg, plant, and just throw his butt into you, and he moves you off the block. You know, he plays like a point guard. He shoots like a shooting guard, but he plants down low like Barkley. You know, his thighs are big. His lower center of gravity is thick. You can't move him off those spots. So, you know, you try to block him, you try to rough him up. He bullies you. And he's got like the Magic Johnson array of passing and shooting and floor general ability. So he's just an impossible nightmare. But there's another thing about Luka. Swagger. Luka, there's that play that has gone viral from the other night where Luka's trying to give the ball to the official, and Devin Booker kind of comes in, pops it out of his hands, and like grabs it for himself. And Luka looks at him and goes, man, like basically bleep you, man. And like walks away nodding his head like, okay, that's how this is? Okay, I got you. Okay. And then just goes out to destroy you. You know, there's such a confidence he carries himself with that the entire team feeds off of. And last night he was asked, and this stat is just stupefying. At halftime, Luka Doncic had scored 27 points, the same as the Suns as a team. He was asked after the game, were you aware that you had scored as many points at halftime as the Suns had as a team? And he said, yeah, of course I was, and laughed. He's there to hunt you. He is there to beat you, and he's going to take great glee in it. He knows how good he is. And look, sometimes I think that's probably run him into some issues. I think sometimes early in his career, it was about, you know, maybe some ego, and it runs through me, and maybe slightly uncoachable, and him and Carlisle obviously butted heads. But now that's grown into a weapon, a force. And Spencer Dinwiddie scores 30 points last night off the bench. And Dinwiddie was asked, you know, what that role is like to kind of be that third option. And he says, well, it depends. He goes, when I come in and Luka's on the bench, yeah, it's up to me to kind of keep the offense going. But I'm not going to step on any toes here. He said, but last night, Luka told him, go get it. Go get it. And he's like, man, when I hear from Luka, go get it, I'm going to go get it. So Luka's also the traffic cop, teaching his guys, coaching his guys, here's what you need to do, and emboldening them. Tour de force. Tour freaking de force. He's outrageous. Last night, Luka had 35 points and 10 rebounds. The game was out of hand as of halftime. I mean, if that was a close game, Luka scores 50. On the road against a 64-win team in a Game 7. It's his moment. That's it. He's now finally arrived in full in the postseason. We'll see if the Mavs can get past the Warriors. I give them a shot at doing so because I don't think the Warriors are the dominant Warriors of yesteryear, and we saw what the Grizzlies were able to do to them. But either way, Luka going to a Game 7 on the road at the number 1 seed and basically just melting them in the first quarter was the arrival. That's it. And now we're going to get deep playoff runs for a long time, assuming they support him correctly. But look, Spencer Dinwiddie's been a solid addition. Jalen Brunson's turned into a very good addition for them. Finney Smith has hit a couple of big shots. Bullock has hit a couple of big shots. They probably need one more guy, but maybe not if they win an NBA championship. We keep saying they need one more guy, but they're 8 wins for an NBA title, so maybe they don't need one more guy.